If it sounds like the world is coming to an end, it certainly felt like it for Joshua Fekete.
I won't say I'm totally out of the woods yet, but doing much better than I was.
And he's not just talking about that 7.7 massive earthquake that rattled Myanmar back on March 28th, with powerful aftershocks shaking all the way to Thailand, which is where Joshua is located. At the center of it all, more than 3,600 lives gone, religious ruins, well, completely ruined, temples toppled, statues that towered for centuries reduced to rubble. Joshua Fekete had problems bigger than a massive earthquake. His life was at the brink. He and his family just relocated to Thailand.
I didn't come to, Thailand to die.
But he nearly did. We're heading to the emergency room in Blackland.
And now,
as a brown person, you just feel so invisible.
Where we're from.
Brothers and sisters, I welcome you to this joyful day.
We celebrate freedom. Where we are.
Get on the ground!
I know someone heard something.
And where we're going.
We the people means all the people.
The Black Information Network presents Blackland with your host, Vanessa Tyler.
What a life experience to get an offer to teach in Thailand, which is what Joshua Fekete did. He really just got there maybe about a week or so, and a life or death emergency happened. Joshua, thank you for joining me.
Yes, I'm glad to be here. Glad to be speaking with you.
First, I'd like to start with, how are you feeling?
I'm still recovering. Just taking it day by day, monitoring my vitals. Just went to the follow up with the doctor a few days ago, the cardiologist, the surgeon that saved my life. And then I just followed up with the primary care physician to do a full panel workup, and everything came back looking pretty good. I won't say I'm totally out of the woods yet, but doing much better than I was. Before we left the United States, and I went to all of my necessary doctor visits, I was cleared to do whatever I needed to do. And then when I got here, I was okay for the first couple of days when we landed in Thailand, Bangkok, Thailand. And then after the second or third day, I noticed I wasn't feeling too great, and I would sweat profusely for about 4 or 5 days.
He dismissed all that excessive sweating as the weather.
I thought it was just because of the weather here, because it's very tropical. It's very humid. It's always in the 90s. So, things are it's a lot different.
His wife noticed he was sleeping a lot and had migraine-level headaches, maybe a sinus infection. But when he fainted, he knew it was serious.
And I toppled over the side of the bed. I hit my head on the side of the wall into the floor. I didn't realize what happened. And then I picked my head up, and I'm like, oh, I'm probably super dehydrated because I've been sweating so much. And then next thing you know, it happens again, and I wake up and I see my spouse and my kids running around frantically and screaming, and they grabbed the hotel staff, and then it just was a nightmare. And I was like, what's happening? And my spouse is just saying hey, you fainted. You keep going out, and you keep coming back, and you keep going out, and you're you were looking pale, your lips are purple. And I was like, I don't know what's going on. I didn't come to, Thailand to die. I came to start, this new venture with us, this new life with us. And I didn't come here to die.
Joshua, his wife, and his adorable kids, ages 8 and 5, thought this would be an adventure, living in another country, being part of the culture. The job offer was sweet. Teaching school, they would get help finding a house, they would have a nanny, and their money goes a long way here. An entirely different experience.
But we're like, this is a good thing. Change is good. You have to adapt, learn new cultures. And this is what we want you guys to do, is eventually learn new cultures, not just America, but learn different cultures of the world.
All that was slipping away as he laid waiting for the doctor after being rushed to the nearest hospital from their hotel by ambulance. The cardiologist walked in with the news.
He was like, you suffered a heart attack. He was like, your blood pressure was really low, like I think it was like 70 over 40. So that's extremely low. Um, and then I remember after that, they came in, one of his assistants came in and told me you're going in for a cath lab. And then that's when I went in for the first surgery, which is the cath lab.
That was the first surgery. Open his arteries immediately.
And then he discovered some things during that cath lab. And yeah, it was a whirlwind. And I could, but that's when like it was like right after the cath lab, he performed the cath lab. I remember laying on the table and I felt like a rumble. And I was like, I don't know what that is. And I look and I see one of like the nurses, they're running back and forth, like frantic, like something's happening.
It was the earthquake in Myanmar. So big, 7.7, it was felt hard in Bangkok. In fact, a high-rise under construction fell, crumbling into pieces.
They had to take me outside.
You're lying in the hospital after having a surgery where they're kind of opening your arteries, I assume. And then
Yes.
in the middle of all of that, you hear a rumble.
Yes. That's exactly what happened. It's like right after he finished doing the cath lab, he looks at the screen, he sees what's going on, and he like gets up, he walks away, and then I see a nurse running right after that. So I'm like in pain from the cath lab because he barely numbed it because he was trying to get me back, stable. And next thing you know, I see the nurse running, they grab me, and then I hear earthquake. It's an earthquake. 7 or 8 people coming. They carry me out on like this uh durable stretcher, I guess you could call it. And I hear earthquake, earthquake. I was literally up under like a banana tree, looking at like some bananas that's about to fall on my head while I'm in a bed and I'm in pain and they can't really administer anything for like the pain or anything else or let me go to the restroom or anything because everyone's in shock. Like we have to get clearance from, the government or the hospital director or to go back in. So I'm sitting there for that long. And then after that, we go back in and that's when they approach me and then they say, okay, we're going to take you in for a CT. And that's when they did the CT of my lower extremities to find out that I had appendicitis.
The 36-year-old was in a foreign country with his young family, had a heart attack, had his appendix removed. Oh, and the earthquake. But there was one more issue, and this was a problem, a big one.
Talk about stress of a heart attack, stress of an earthquake, and then the added stress that you couldn't leave. They were holding you basically hostage in the hospital.
So that was another stress added on while I'm trying to recover.
Joshua Fekete had a problem. After 2 surgeries for his heart and to remove his appendix in a foreign country, he was handed a bill, one for which he could not just write a check.
They basically want the entire balance up front. And I was like, I don't have that.
The hotel manager was kind enough to put up the down payment.
She was like, please, please, I don't want to see him die.
It was a weekend, and although the family had health insurance in America, the hospital demanded more proof, more collateral.
How much was the bill?
It was like, the amounts kept changing. I would say it was one amount at one point, then it went up. Then I was supposed to go back to a regular room, then it went up again because they held me in the ICU. But it ended up being like 580,000 baht, which equates to almost 16,000 US dollars.
16 grand. The hospital business office wanted now.
After like everything was done, they were saying, hey, you have to pay this in full or you can't leave.
Although $16,000 is not a lot for 2 surgeries, ICU, an ambulance.
I told my wife, if we would have got this done in the States, this would have been like a $500,000 bill. It's still stressful because I didn't have 16,000 handy.
Fekete's wife contacted the U.S. Embassy in Bangkok for help. Even then, he says, the hospital finance staff was so aggressive, the Black family was afraid.
He says, number 1, your insurance is not paying. Number 2, the U.S. Embassy is not going to help you. You need to make a payment or you're not getting out of here. He talked to me like cold, straight like that while I'm on my hospital bed trying to recover in pain.
Then the family got a call from the U.S. Embassy in Washington, D.C.
He's like, we can't help you financially right now. We can't help you financially. We usually would, but we can't. But we all told them to let you do a payment plan. And once they set up that payment plan, they should be discharging you today.
They still waited for hours for them to work out the payment plan. 6 months was the max, but the first payment had to be paid now. They had to go to the nearest police station to document the debt, making it official. Fekete's mother back in Georgia started a GoFundMe, which is how they got the down payment.
We're still like raising money to even get the rest of the balance and get plane tickets to go back to Georgia.
They're only going back to check with doctors because Thailand is the place they want to live.
Our hotel is the best in the world. At the end of the week, you will be an entirely different person.
To Thailand and a week of new memories.
The country made even more popular with the HBO hit show, The White Lotus.
What happens in Thailand stays in Thailand.
Although not familiar with the hit show, Fekete says what he likes most, despite the hospital experience, the people. They are kind.
They're very welcoming and very nice people. Everywhere we go, like, even if you leave like your laptop or your drink on a counter for over an hour, no one will go up and take it or touch it or tamper with it. They have a very like honorable system that they go by, and they literally have like they're mostly Buddhists, I believe, and they have like temples everywhere, like little altars everywhere. So I'm like, maybe that's why, because they're so heavy into their religion, why they're so nice and honoring, because they live by like an honor code.
And the dollar goes a long way.
You have a remote job, your money can stretch a lot further here than in the States, where everything is super inflated and possibly going to go up even more.
What about the racial component? How are African Americans treated?
Yes, and that was another thing we were shocked about. Everybody just respects you as a human here.
As we spoke from his apartment in Bangkok, he still recovers with the resolve to pay their medical bill and stay, continue on their adventure. The family does have a GoFundMe set up by his mother titled, Help Bring My Family Home.
We've been surviving off like family help or the GoFundMe, anything that comes in with that. So we're just pretty much relying on God and faith right now.
Joshua Fekete, please take it easy as you recover.
Thank you so much.
I'm Vanessa Tyler. Be sure to like and subscribe to Blackland to catch the latest episode. A new one drops every week.